My trading 212 dividend portfolio just hit new heights, and I've received my biggest single dividend ever. But did I break my all-time record? Let's find out. What's up, effortless investors? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm breaking down my realistic dividend portfolio, the biggest movers, and of course, this month's best and worst performers. Will Rigetti Computing hold on to the crown for a third month straight? As always, I'm not a financial advisor, just a 9-to-5 guy building wealth the effortless way. If you enjoy realistic investing updates and beginner-friendly content, make sure you like and subscribe. Alright, that's enough from me. Let's get into it. Let's check in on the portfolio as it stands today. And I'm happy to report we've smashed through the £2,000 goal. The portfolio is now sitting at just over £2,160. After adding another £100 this month, that brings total deposits to £1,660. Despite some market wobbling, growth this month was strong, up 6.2% or about £127. That makes October my second best month of the year for growth. Looking at lifetime performance, the portfolio is now up 28.2% or roughly £475 in unrealised profit. Comparing October 2025 to October 2024, both were positive months, but this year easily takes the win. In fact, that's now 6 straight months of positive returns. Thanks to that run, my average annual growth has climbed to 18.5%, keeping me comfortably ahead of my conservative 7.5% target. Alright, let's talk about those assets, starting with the EI growth pie, the old reliable of my portfolio that just keeps compounding away. This is where most of my deposits went again this month, £65 out of the £100, and it's still split 70-30 between VWRL and EQQQ, giving me that global diversification with a dash of tech-heavy growth. For October, the growth pie was up 6.1%, around £74.17 in unrealised profit. Altogether, it's now showing a total gain of 18.3%, or just under £200. Not bad at all for month 16 of the journey. Breaking it down further, VWRL, the top dog, climbed 5.27% this month, with a strong finish in the final 2 weeks. Overall, it's up 15.8%, nicely on track to beat my 7% annual target. EQQQ, the smaller but punchier slice, picked up 7.78% this month, continuing last month's momentum and bring its total return to 24.2% since I first bought in back in November 2024. Before we move on, a little teaser. VWRL also delivered the biggest dividend I've ever received. I'll reveal that shortly, but for now, let's jump over to the next asset. And next up is the EI income pie, built to deliver steady dividends that can boost my contributions over time, with a little bit of growth sprinkled in for good measure. And speaking of growth, it added a modest 1.6% this month. Not bad for a pie focused mainly on income. Overall, it's up 6.9% or roughly £25 in unrealised profits so far. Breaking it down, the big two, JGGI and VHYL, continue to lead the charge. JGGI gained 2.1%, bringing its total return to just over 8%. VHYL did slightly better, at 3.4%, now sitting around 9.5% overall. For both, considering I only started investing in April, being close to 10% already is something I'm really happy with. Now, on to the rest, starting with the winners this month. National Grid led the way with a strong 8% gain, maybe gearing up for storm season in the UK. JEQP also impressed with 5.6%, while Unilever and HSBC chipped in with 4.7% and 2.4% respectively. JEIP and Legal & General both posted small but steady gains of around 2 to 3%. But not every asset had such a good time. BAE Systems fell nearly 10%. Main Street Capital dropped another 11%, dipping below my average price. And Greencoat UK Wind, well, its chart looked like it was drawn by a toddler with a crayon, down 4.7% for the month. British American Tobacco also slipped slightly at 1.3%, though it's still well up overall. All in all, for a pie focused on income, that's a solid mix of resilience and opportunity. I'm also currently looking into income share ETPs as a possible addition. So if you invest in any, drop a comment below and let me know which ones you rate. As for which of these stocks paid me dividends this month, I'll be unloading all those details in just a moment, and we'll see if it was enough to beat my all-time monthly record. But before we get to the dividends, let's take a quick look at the individual long-term picks, starting with Palantir. I gave Greencoat UK Wind a hard time earlier for looking like it was drawn by a toddler with a crayon, but Palantir's chart might just give it some competition. The volatility this month has been wild. Even so, it's still finished up a strong 7.7%, so I can't be too critical there. Next up, we have the ARK Innovation Fund, ARKK. It came flying out of the gates early in the month, bounced around about midway, but still delivered a solid 6.8% gain overall. Some of you might notice a familiar face missing. My Nintendo shares are gone. I decided to sell and reinvest that capital into ARKK. With more competition on the horizon for handheld consoles, I wasn't as confident in Nintendo's long-term growth story. Still, I walked away with a small profit of £1.35. Go me. Finally, the star of the show, Rigetti Computing. This one had an astronomical first half of the month, rocketing from about $30 to $57, before cooling off to $42. Even after that dip, it's still up an incredible 43% for October. Let's hope Rigetti can keep channeling some of that Palantir-style energy going forward. Alright, enough about growth. It's time for everyone's favourite part, the dividends. There were a couple of chunky payouts this month, but did they help me break my all-time record of £4.27? Let's find out. Starting with the smallest payout, Main Street Capital, coming in at 6p. Next up, JEQP at 12p, one of its lower payouts so far. SMIF followed up with a solid 23p, making it the second highest dividend I've received from them to date. Only 6 assets paid dividends this month, so let's jump straight into the top 3. In bronze position, VHYL, paying out 53p. Silver goes to JGGI with 82p, its biggest dividend for me so far. And taking the gold, VWRL, delivering a massive £2.09. That's the largest single dividend I've ever received from an asset. But the big question remains, did I break my all-time monthly record? My previous best stands at £4.27, and this month's total comes to £3.86. So no new record, but October 2025 officially ranks as my second best month for dividends so far. And just to put things into perspective, compared to October 2024, this month's dividends are up an incredible 1,828%. That's the kind of compounding I love to see. So, to sum up this month, the growth assets are doing their job and keeping me on pace. The income side is still small compared to other portfolios, but it's steadily building. I'm learning more and more each month, and it's showing. The portfolio is definitely maturing, and I'm really happy with how it's shaping up. Hitting the £2,000 milestone feels great, and I'm setting my next target at £2,500. If we get a couple more months like this one, I might just hit that before the year's out. Now though, it's time for the monthly awards, where we give props to the best performer and a gentle roast to the worst. The best performing asset for the third month in a row goes to Rigetti Computing with a massive 43% gain this month. Can it keep the streak going? Maybe we're looking at a frontrunner for best asset of the year. The worst performing asset goes to Main Street Capital, down 10.9% this month. That 6p dividend just wasn't enough to save it from this unfortunate crown. Commiserations to Main. Will Rigetti Computing make it 4 months in a row? We'll find out in next month's update, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. If you're new here and enjoy beginner-friendly investing content, check out the videos on the right of your screen. There's plenty more where this came from. And of course, let me know in the comments how your portfolio performed this month. I love seeing how everyone's journey is going. I'll be back next month with new dividends, hopefully some fresh growth, and probably the same old whimsy. Until then, keep it simple, keep it realistic, and keep it effortless.